Then there's breakfast, really light, super quick, easy to make. I'm actually in the process right now of reversing out of my cut. Oh, this is unusual, but when you're cooking with ground meats, you're supposed to like let it sit for like a minute each side. Cookie is done.
All I got, but I got smoke in my eyes, I'm blind. No time for the nonsense, try to smoke it away, don't take much. Oh, I got you waiting up, don't let me be your sunset, darling. Don't be staying up, I know better than to die. I was just planning on taking my time, and you could take the high road, but instead you got some high.
Hey vlog, welcome to another what I eat in a day. I had my iced coffee earlier. It's like the same one that I always make, so I didn't think I had to walk through it, but I'm getting a little hungry, so I'm putting together some breakfast. I don't know if you guys have noticed, I've been on more of like a sweet kick for breakfast lately. I used to be like all savory, and now I basically just want different variations of fruit and Greek yogurt. So for this morning, I wanted to do a smoothie and toast. So I have some sourdough bread that I'm gonna pop in our George Foreman. And then for the smoothie, I've been making this one all summer. This one uses frozen raspberries, frozen mangoes, and then just like a little bit of frozen dark cherries just to give it a little bit more sweetness, and then just some peaches. And then I also do some Greek yogurt. I do about a half cup in here, and then I do extra scoops of my collagen for like a substitute protein powder. But I'm gonna load up here, starting with raspberries, about a half cup of that. And then I just do a couple of the cherries. Like I said, it's just to add a little bit of sweetness. I'm not necessarily like needing it for the cherry flavor. I realized that was open, but those pretty much act as like a pretty good sweetener. And then about a half cup of frozen mangoes and a half cup of peach slices. Doing 2 scoops of collagen. One. I have to go to Costco soon. I'm gonna run out of this. And then some water so it can all blend together. Then finally about, like I said, a half cup or so of Greek yogurt. Then just blending it all up. And then if you guys remember the San Diego bachelorette trip, I love putting the smoothie in this like Greek bust cup vase, however you want to use it. But I love doing the smoothie on days where I'm gonna sprint or run at the gym, just because I'm lactose intolerant and too much Greek yogurt can definitely make my stomach not feel 100%. Like I love Greek yogurt, and if I don't want to do meat or eggs in the morning, it's definitely like the next best like breakfast protein source. But unfortunately too much, like I said, will just make me feel a little bit sick to my stomach. So this smoothie is great, like I said, for the mornings where I'm gonna run. I've done runs after I've had like a yogurt parfait or something, and it kind of makes me feel like I'm gonna throw up if I like run and have dairy. So this one's great because it's just a half cup, it's not too heavy, and usually by the time I get to the gym I've already digested the Greek yogurt, so it's typically like not a problem for me. But here's how the smoothie came out. It's a little bit thin today. I think I put too much water, but totally fine with that because then I can slurp it down pretty quickly. And then I think the toast is good. Okay, that's perfect. I like my toast pretty toasted. And just a little bit of butter. Then there's breakfast, really light, super quick, easy to make. This is typically my breakfast on the days where I'm like really on the go, or like I said, if I plan on running at the gym.
But I'm a low life in love, and I'll break your heart. If you push me too far, we'll be right back where we started.
Back from the gym, I had a good workout, sprinted, all of that good stuff. So I am currently starving, and I'm putting together a new lunch for myself. I tend to be a creature of habit. You guys know I'll have like the same lunches over and over again, but every once in a while I come up with like a new idea. But I'm actually in the process right now of reversing out of my cut. So basically that means I'm slowly increasing calories every week or every 2 weeks, like just a little bit each week, like 50 calories or so. But I've been doing that for a few weeks now, so I definitely have a lot more calories at my disposal than I did before. So I'm able to fit in things that normally would have been tougher for me to fit in when I was on a calorie deficit. But obviously it's nice when that happens because then I have like more options to eat, and it's also like not as hard to plan meals because I have a lot more freedom. But right now I'm gonna make a little bagel sandwich. I have the Dave's Killer Bread everything bagels. I went with these ones because they have 13 grams of protein versus a regular bagel has like 10 or so, which I know 3 grams of protein may not sound like a lot, but when you are trying to track protein, every little bit helps. So here's what they look like your regular everything bagel. It's like a little bit darker because it has a lot more grains and stuff, but I'm gonna toast this up again in the George Foreman, let those pieces get nice and browned. And for the sandwich, I've got some oven roasted turkey. You guys, this was so hard to find. Apparently there's a bird flu going on right now, and deli turkey and chicken are really hard to get your hands on at the moment. So I went to 3 grocery stores for this. Of course, this was the week I decided I wanted to do a turkey thing. I also have Roma tomatoes, cucumber, some low-fat cream cheese. I think that you can totally use regular cream cheese. I've gone over this before, but for anyone who's new, I grew up in the 90s and like my mom had low-fat everything in the house, and it truly is a preferred texture thing. I tend to gravitate towards like low-fat cream cheese or low-fat Triscuits, stuff like that, because they're a little bit drier, which I know sounds super unappealing, I'm sure, to most people, but you know, I grew up on it, so I'm very into the drier texture, so I go with the lower fat cream cheese. And then finally, Kirkland basil pesto. My camera stopped recording, so I hope it didn't cut me off, but I'm gonna go ahead and slice the cucumber up really thin, and then also get like 2 or 3 slices from the Roma tomatoes. Bagel is toasted, so we're gonna go ahead and assemble this little sandwich. These are really hot right now, but starting off with a couple tablespoons, right? Tablespoons or teaspoons of the cream cheese. I'm gonna put on the bottom piece, then layer on, oh, this is unusual, but the equivalent to what would normally be 3 deli slices of oven roasted turkey. I think it's about 4 of these, because these are like way smaller. That's gonna make it hard to track. Then next, you have the tomatoes, and this tomato was kind of small. I'm almost thinking I have to get one more slice. Really thin slice. Let me do one more. Then over the tomatoes, I'm going to do a little bit everything but the bagel seasoning. And then cucumbers. Damn, I went hard on the cucumbers. That's a lot. But I do love cucumbers. It's my favorite vegetable. Then lastly, taking the top that I set aside, then just doing a little bit of pesto, just enough to spread it out over the top here. Like I said, just a little bit, not even a tablespoon. But that is the sandwich. I think I've made a version of this in the past, maybe this exact one, but if I have, it's definitely been a very long time since then. I'm just gonna cut it in half so it's easier to eat. Okay, that looks so good. I can't wait to dig into this. Quite a few hours later, it's dinner time and I've started prepping. I'm gonna be doing a bok choy and turkey fried rice. So I have 3 bok choys cut up over here. I'm gonna start by cooking with this, and then I also have some baby corn for another veggie in here. But I'm also gonna need soy sauce, and then, perfect, toasted sesame oil, and then sesame seeds. And then from in here, garlic, and then I don't know if I still have ginger, perfect. So in the wok, I've got a cube of ginger and a cube of garlic heating up, and oh my god, this thing is gonna burn me again. I'll pop in the bok choy. And just some pepper, and then some soy sauce. The bok choy is still also gonna get flavored when I like re-add it in here into the rice and turkey, but right now I just want to get it all cooked up and get it like at least to a nice bright green color, and then I'm gonna take it out and then cook the turkey and the rice on its own and then add it back in. Looks like we're at a good spot here, so I'm gonna take this out and then start on the turkey and rice. So again, I've got sesame oil in here, but This time I have 3 cloves of garlic, no ginger in this. I also chopped up some scallions, so I'm gonna add probably about 2/3 of this in right now and then save the rest for garnish at the end. I'm gonna let this cook up just for a quick second and then I will add in the ground turkey. So I just threw the ground turkey right on top, and I actually just learned when you're cooking with ground meats, you're supposed to like let it sit for like a minute each side and then go ahead and break it up, because that way it gets better flavor. So just a little tip there. I have been trying it out the last few times that I've cooked with ground meat, and I can say definitely can taste a bit of a difference. So I'm just gonna let this sit for a minute on this side and then on the other side, then start breaking it up. So the meat is about 80% done, I would say. I'm gonna put a little bit more oil in. And now it's time to add the rice. In 2 bags of the Kerrygo's frozen brown rice, and then soy sauce. I know this looks like a lot, but you guys, this is a huge dish. This wok is massive, and this dish so far takes up most of it, so that much soy sauce was absolutely necessary, I promise. So I threw in some baby corn, and then now it's time to add back in the bok choy. Mix this all up. And then finally, just some of the leftover scallions and toasted sesame seeds. Give this all a quick toss, and then this is pretty much ready to go. So this is dinner tonight, my turkey and bok choy fried rice. And then I made some Asian pickled cucumbers the other night, so I'm also gonna nosh on these. They've been soaking for about, I think at this point it's been like 3 or 4 days, so these are at a really, really good spot. But honestly, my favorite is when they've been pickling for about a week. These last for forever, you guys. If like you ever want to make them and do like a big batch, they last for so long and they're so good. I'll even like snack on them in the afternoon sometimes. But obviously for something like this with the fried rice or like any type of Asian dish, this is a nice little complement to it. So last thing I'm gonna eat today is this protein cookie. This one is from King Line. This is the s'mores one, and this one is like hands down my favorite flavor. It's really, really good. Basically, I just take the dry mix and add a couple teaspoons of non-dairy milk, and then just pop it on a baking sheet if you want to bake it, or you could also eat this raw. And then I'm just gonna put this in the oven for about 11 minutes and should be good to go. Cookie is done, and this one looks like a good one. It puffed up a lot. I actually used probably a little bit too much milk, but it looks like the more milk you use with this mix, the puffier your cookie gets. But I'm gonna let this cool for a few minutes before I dig into it. I'm actually gonna go ahead and end the vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed this what I eat in a day. Please don't forget to make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss out on my future videos. And I'll see you guys very soon again in my next one. Bye.
All these bitches say they wanna fuck with me now. Used to walk on my farm, I don't want them now. I might hit that little bitch with a run around. Want my heart on my sleeve, now that's a hand me down. Money on my head like sativa.